Welcome to the St. Vincent College Honors Convocation. A special welcome to members of our Board of Directors and the Seminary Board of Regents. Please remain standing for the invocation by Right Reverend Douglas R. Nowicki of the Order of St. Benedict, Chancellor and Arch-Abbot of St. Vincent. After the invocation, you may be seated for welcoming remarks from the Chairperson of St. Vincent's Board of Directors, Mr. Christopher Donahue.
Dear God, you are the source and giver of every good gift. We thank you in this Easter season for the wonderful gift of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ. We thank you for the wonderful gifts that he gives to us each day, the gift of our faith, the gift of hope and love. We ask that we may be instruments of that vine that attaches us to your eternal love, your eternal goodness. Help us always to be mindful that you are with us at every moment in life's journey. Fill our hearts with gratitude for those who encourage us, those who love us, those who give us strength each day. We ask your blessing on the graduates, on their families and friends, all those who are honored this day. We ask your blessing that each of us may be an instrument of your peace and love to all who come to us in need each day. We thank you for the blessings of this day and every day, and we ask your blessing now on each of us through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Welcome all to St. Vincent's Basilica. The new lighting you see is the result of technology which applies not only to the Basilica but also to the college. We are changing regular old lights into LED. The light that you young people have shown in success at the college is the real light of this campus. For my part, I am imbued with gratitude. Gratitude for all of you and gratitude for the works that the monks and your teachers have done over these many years. And if you are instilled with gratitude in your heart, you will experience joy. And you can check this by looking at the flip side or the opposite of gratitude, which is entitlement. And the results of entitlement are frustration, whining, and if you're at our company, you end up graduating, which is to say, moving on to another position. So let us be filled with gratitude on a beautiful day with a lot of beautiful accomplishments. Thank you and welcome.
Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" This is a question that David Stephen has started to answer during his time at St. Vincent. He has developed as a leader on and off the basketball court, serves others as a prefect in Benny, and nurtures his faith by participating in various campus ministry activities like retreats, Sports Friendship Day, and Festival of Praise. In David's words, he makes it a goal each day to, quote, love on one person. So today, it's our turn to show some love to David. I know Father Ronald would approve of David's mission to help others. On behalf of my fellow nominator, Celine Brudnock, and the class of 1968, it is my honor to present David C. Stephen with the Father Ronald Gorka Scholarship Award.
The recipients of the Student Government Association Senior Awards start with Courtney A. Close. Hector E. Koch. Aubrey A. Marquis. Matthew S. Mascara. And Kayla E. Shear. The Student Government Senate also elects one faculty or administration member in the St. Vincent community that does not get recognized for all of the effort that they put in. This year, the Senate elected James W. Walters for this award.
Congratulations. It is my pleasure to present the awards for academic excellence in the major field of study. We start with awards for academic excellence in undergraduate programs. Accounting, Anthony T. Rosso. Anthropology, Mark C. O'Grady. Art education, Rachel L. Murphy. Biochemistry, Chelsea L. Saring. Bioinformatics, Madison M. Melferber. Biology, Taylor S. Easter. Business economics, Jill R. Klein. Chemistry, Lindsay N. Campus. Communication, Sydney K. Scoff. Computer science, John P. Depew. Cybersecurity, Daniel J. Kissel. Early childhood education, Dana N. Ricker. Economics and mathematics, Thomas J. Kromka. Engineering science, Caitlin A. Petruzza. English, Mallory L. Trunkenmiller. Environmental science, Nicholas J. Iacasaro. Finance, Andrew T. Nickel. Graphic Design, Abby A. Gratisek. History, Jamie L. Witham. Information Technology, Ross A. Labuscus. Integrated Science, Allison N. Boyer. International Business, Raylan D. Welling. Raylan is also receiving the award for academic excellence in marketing. Liberal Arts, Juliana C. Nato. Management, Catherine R. Turisky. Mathematics, Benjamin W. Watt. Middle grade education, Kiera M. Lewis. Music performance, Anthony J. Macedo. Philosophy, Paul D. Nadakowski. Physics, Mitchell A. Breedice. Politics, Jessica M. DeLong. Psychological Sciences, Kyle R. Ward. Sociology, Jennifer M. Hogan. Spanish, Bailey L. DeTesta. The Student Educator Award, Secondary Certification, Lucille W. Budas. Studio Arts, Carson D. Snyder. The award for academic excellence in the major field of study, graduate programs. Counselor Education, Kimberly Dickard Wallace. Curriculum and Instruction, Hannah M. Gelvin. Instructional Design and Technology, Fabio S. Flezick. Management, Operational Excellence, Raymond Fontaine. Special Education, Alana M. Deloso. Congratulations to all our awardees. The President's Award is the highest award given to a student of the college. Nominations for the President's Award are accepted from any member of the St. Vincent community. The President bestows the award on the graduating senior who has best exemplified leadership, community service, and academic excellence. We will announce and recognize the 5 finalists for the President's Award. When their name is called, we ask that each of them come forward and receive a plaque from Brother Norman. The 5 finalists for the President's Award are Thomas J. Kromka, Tom is majoring in economics and mathematics. Sarah J. Malone. Sarah is majoring in engineering science and English. Floyd Nichols. Floyd is majoring in biology. Benjamin W. Watt. Benjamin is majoring in mathematics with minors in biology and English. Raylan D. Welling. Raylan is majoring in international business and marketing with minors in operational excellence and Spanish. Brother Norman will now confer the President's Award.
This year's finalists for the President's Award are special, like other years, but I feel even more personally connected this year. Basketball's fun, especially when it's played with grit. And Tom Kromka is a gritty basketball player, captain of our team, player of the year for the conference, and he studied math and economics. He enjoyed those classes, but he also found his theology classes particularly meaningful, whether they were taught by Chris McMahon, Helene Paharic, Jack Opperly. They became occasions for him to deepen his faith. He will be a leader in Kennemel's Operation Leadership Program. Sarah Malone brings together creative writing. She's a poet, won the Reagan Poetry Contest, and engineering science. Her nominators say that she shuttles between the creative side and the analytical side to negotiate complex intellectual problems, has a deep appreciation for human beauty in the most profound sense, and is driven to act in the service of true charity. She works wonderfully at the crossing points of science and in the cores of community and Catholicity. Having come from a small school of St. Joe's in Natrona, she will stretch as she pursues an MFA in Columbia, New York City. Floyd Nichols has done summer research at Case Western and at Notre Dame. Study abroad has taken him from Cape Town to Paris to London. Coming to St. Vincent, he had interest in medicine, but then discovered interest in astrobiology and geobiology and a love for presenting in the planetarium. He will pursue a PhD at Northwestern. Ben Watt, math major, and is planning to go to medical school. But math and science coursework did not limit Ben's intellectual life at St. Vincent. He was part of the reading group of Flannery O'Connor, G.K. Chesterton, and identified his philosophy course on Thomas Aquinas as one of his favorites. Ben was also found on stage in Gilbert and Sullivan productions. He will be attending Penn State Hershey Medical School in the fall. Raylan Welling was a work study in the president's office, our office, for 2.5 years. She seemed to love every class and every teacher she ever had. We missed her in the office when she was studying abroad in Spain, where she became fluent in Spanish and managed at the same time to volunteer teaching English to 5th and 6th graders for 4 hours a week. One of her more intense courses here was one that she spent more than 40 hours a week on. This one class, became a Lean Six Sigma Green Belt certified. She'll be off to Provo, Utah for a job with Qualtrics, a software marketing firm. Let me tell you a little more about this year's President's Awardee. One of his cross-country teammates commented that Floyd Nichols has been all over the world, but only lived in Benny here at St. Vincent, knows something about everything, is a recreational stargazer, excellent counselor, and quality teammate. Well, I mentioned earlier that he had summer research programs at Case Western and at Notre Dame, and had come to St. Vincent with the intent of studying medicine. It was in the summer of 2017 that he expressed that he might help Dr. Smentanka in the planetarium. That summer, in preparation for the solar eclipse, Dr. Smentanka, Brother Lawrence, and Floyd Nichols traveled all over Westmoreland County to libraries to give countless shows and presentations. Floyd was one of the presenters. One of the nominators for this award made the comment that these experiences made Floyd light up with excitement and interest in continuously learning. For the record, working with Floyd has made Dr. Smentanka light up with excitement as well. One interesting story is that at a cross-country meet at Notre Dame, Floyd collapsed at the finish line due to dehydration as a result of extreme temperatures. First words after being revived were WASP 18b, his favorite exoplanet. He accurately described its properties, including its 23 hours orbital period, making its year shorter than an Earth day, even though he could not remember his name or where he was. Indeed, his studies are always foremost on his mind. So, for his academic accomplishments, including research experiences for undergraduates at Notre Dame and Case Western, study abroad in London, Paris, South Africa, co-authoring on a project dealing with probiotics and anxiety, for his leadership ability, serving as prefect, participating in cross-country and track, tutoring students in math and science, for community service, especially in the planetarium, even developing his own planetarium show on extra solar panels, planets, for being a genuinely kind and humble person who will always brighten your day, for treating everyone with dignity and respect, for having a holistic awareness that utilizes the perspectives of a liberal arts education, and for his commitment to the Catholic Benedictine values of St. Vincent College. It is my honor as president of St. Vincent College to confer upon Floyd Nichols the President's Award this 24th day of April, 2019.
great. Well, thank you, everybody. I didn't really expect to win this award, so I didn't really prepare a speech or anything. But I'd first like to thank all the faculty who've nominated me. This is definitely an award that I'm grateful to receive, but I think that all the other finalists are well deserving of the award as well. And I think I'll definitely use this award as a reminder in the future to keep these values with me as I go forward in the future. But thank you all.
Congratulations, Floyd. I don't know what I'm going to do without you. Each year at Honors Convocation, the college recognizes 2 faculty members for outstanding teaching, scholarship, and service. The Quentin Schaut Award is named in honor of Father Quentin Schaut of the Order of St. Benedict, a professor of English and the 17th president of the college, the first who was not simultaneously archabbot. This award recognizes the contributions, leadership, and achievements of a junior faculty member to the curriculum and life of the college. David Saffin, assistant professor of communication in the School of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, is this year's winner of the Quentin Schaut Faculty Award. Professor Saffin, would you please come forward? Professor Saffin graduated from St. Vincent College in Communication and Information Arts. He went on to earn a Master of Science in Multimedia Technology at California University of Pennsylvania and a Master of Fine Arts in Film and Digital Technology from Chatham University. After graduating from St. Vincent, Professor Saffin worked in a variety of administrative positions at the college, rising to Director of Multimedia Services before joining the faculty full-time in 2013. His passion and talent for the creation of films, from documentaries and promotional videos to his own comic shorts and even satirical series, has yielded recognition through numerous awards and inclusion in film festivals. The work of his students highlights Professor Saffin's talents as a mentor and educator. Students point to his incredible knowledge of film and digital media, often expressing awe at the level of detail he would relate about a film or documentary. His organized approach to teaching both theory and practice, and his ability to convey his passion and make his classes fun. One student observed that the first half of the semester was very academic, while the second half we learned the practicalities of managing a professional social media account. Another student commented that Professor Saffin pushes us to pursue our dreams and gives us care and advice along the way. Finally, another student shared that I have never not loved a class with him. He sees the potential in every student and believes in us. In recognition of his exceptional teaching, creative passion for digital media and film, and the mentorship of students, St. Vincent College is pleased to honor Professor David Saffin with the 2019 Quentin Schaut Faculty Award.
Speech in my sleeve. Please be seated. This is really a tremendous honor for me. It really means a lot because, as many of you know, my history here extends back to the fall of 1996 when I arrived as a student. Hi, Lily. So to me, this award is a testament to the type of education that we offer. One that emphasizes lifelong learning. Because even though my days as a student officially ended in the spring of 2000, there has not been a day that I've spent on this campus since where I wasn't learning. And as I look at the faculty here today, there are a few of them who taught me when I was a student, but so many of you have played a significant role in my growth and development as a faculty member and as a person. And it would take far too long to thank all of you individually, but I would be remiss if I didn't single out two people. The first is Mr. Jeff Zidek, who is our sports information director. Jeff was an adjunct in the department when I was a student, and he quickly took me under his wing. His advice and guidance persisted long after I graduated, and I would have never found my way into a classroom if it wasn't for him. The second is Dr. Jessica Harvey. She's the chair of the communication department. She's my closest collaborator, and most importantly, she's my friend. I've worked with a lot of great people in the time that I've been here, but the work I do with her is the most satisfying because our fruits benefit our students. I would also like to acknowledge just how great our students are. They never cease to amaze me with the work they do inside and outside of the classroom. Finally, I'd like to thank my family. They're in the front row here. First and foremost, my wife, Kate. Thank you for loving and liking me, for supporting me and also putting up with me, which can't be easy. Thank you to my kids, Lily and Andy. They are the sweetest, smartest, and silliest kids I could have ever hoped for, and I hope they're proud of me today, and I hope they know I am proud of them every day. And finally, thank you to Lily and Andy's grandparents, who are also known as my parents, George and Connie Saffin, who are also in the front row. I'm going off page here. As many of you know from my story, I always talk about how I learned to do video because my dad constantly videotaped us. And even though Christy is up there recording this, my dad still brought his camera. My parents are the reason I am at St. Vincent, because they saw something in this place long before I did. And through hard work and sacrifice, they were able to invest in this education, not just for me, but my brother before me. I would like to point out that my dad spent his career as a public school teacher and my mom a nurse. So I was raised in an environment of education and care. And that is what I believe they saw in this place. A college dedicated not just to educating its students, but to caring for them well beyond the confines of 4 years. And that is my message to the class of 2019. A reminder that just because you are no longer here with us doesn't mean that we are not there for you. Congratulations to the class of 2019. Thank you for letting me share my thoughts.
Named for the founder of St. Vincent and the pioneer of Benedictine monasticism in the United States, the Boniface Wimmer Award recognizes a senior faculty member for sustained excellence. This year, Dr. Stephen Gravel, Associate Professor of Chemistry, is the recipient of the Boniface Wimmer Faculty Award. Dr. Gravel, please come forward. Dr. Gravel earned a bachelor's degree in chemistry from a fellow Benedictine college, St. John's University, and a master's of science and PhD from Northwestern University, note the purple, in physical chemistry. He joined the faculty of St. Vincent College in 1991. Dr. Gravel has served as a faculty leader in many capacities, including chairing the chemistry department from 1996 to 2005, serving on faculty council and the rank and tenure committee, working with Project Kaleidoscope in the design phase of the Sis and Herman Dupre Science Pavilion, and currently serves as director of the Teaching Effectiveness and Mentoring Program. As a member of the National Process-Oriented Guided Inquiry Learning Project, Dr. Gravel's recent professional activities have centered on improving teaching and learning in the sciences. He has authored numerous papers and presentations on enhancing student learning of chemistry using writing, technology, and innovative inquiry-based approaches. He has also supported and mentored faculty in every discipline at St. Vincent to enhance teaching and learning here. In the classroom, Dr. Gravel puts into practice the techniques that allow students to construct understanding and develop expertise. One student from his physical chemistry course shared, "This has been my favorite course. I understand quantum mechanics. I call that a win." Another student wrote, "I enjoyed the group work in the course because seeing others' points of view helped me master the material." Finally, another student observed that Dr. Gravel is the stereotypical, caring, good professor. With sincere gratitude and admiration for your continuous and passionate dedication to St. Vincent College, your outstanding service as a role model for the faculty, and your commitment to teaching and student learning, we recognize Dr. Stephen Gravel with the 2019 Boniface Wimmer Faculty Award.
Thanks, John, for those kind remarks. I'm pleased to say the POGL book is finally out. There's probably 3 faculty here who care. But anyway, I just want to thank Dr. Smetanka and the deans for considering me for this award. I greatly appreciate it. I'm very flattered. Thanks especially to the faculty who just make this job wonderful and very enjoyable, especially the faculty in chemistry who are great. We've been a great family for my nearly 3 decades of serving here. So I've really enjoyed that. Thanks to the students who, I don't quite get the same comments directly about physical chemistry that John was reciting. He must have dug through the deeply to find those. Usually they say, "Oh, I really hate physical chemistry," but you know, it's bearable. So thank you to students who soldier on through the course and all those students who I've enjoyed teaching over the years. Thanks especially to my family, both my parents who really, worked hard to help me get to where I'm going, and to my family, my wife Ann and my sons, who now live far away, but my wife is right here, fortunately. Thanks to them for their support and, helped me make my way from Minnesota to Evanston, Illinois, and over here to Western PA finally. So it's been a great journey and I've really enjoyed it. I want to especially congratulate the students who received awards. Floyd, who was a shoo-in for President's Award because he's going to the right university for graduate school. And to the other students that have won awards today. So congratulations to them. This is really their day. And good luck to everybody as we finish up this last and most difficult, most challenging, but most enjoyable part of the academic year. Thank you very much.
Today we have the privilege of recognizing Maureen Lally-Green with an honorary degree and to enjoy her brother, John Lally, as our guest speaker. We need to begin with their parents. Their father, Francis L. Lally, graduated from St. Vincent in 1939. And their mother, Charlotte Frederick Lally, was featured in one of the oral histories of World War II veterans published by our former English professor, Richard Wisolick. Both Frank and Charlotte served in the Second World War, Frank with the 47th Regiment, 9th Infantry Division, and Charlotte with the U.S. Army Nursing Corps. In 1947, Frank showed up at the Aspinwall VA hospital, where Charlotte was working as a nurse. And according to the oral history story, she thought in her words, "This is the man of my dreams. This is the guy for me." He was interning at that time at Mercy Hospital with a specialty in internal medicine. They married within a year after that first encounter and had 8 children. Maureen came first. John was number 5. Their brother Frank Jr. is also an alumnus of St. Vincent. The title of that book of oral histories is An Honor to Serve. In fact, the title was taken from her story when she said, "We were so proud to be part of the Army. It was an honor to serve my country." This mission of service has become an integral part of the Lally family. Today is a family celebration, and we begin with the honorary degree citation. Maureen, Father Archabbot, please come forward. Okay. Maureen, you have lived a life of remarkable service and dedication to the law, to the judicial system of the United States, and to the church. You have often given a full measure of service and dedication simultaneously to these various institutions and have been in all respects a great leader in each. Your dedication and service to the law began in your outstanding career as a law student. You worked in the private sector for major firms. You have taught for years in law school, with the excellence of your teaching having been recognized by your elevation to the rank of full professor, and ultimately you gave great service and dedication as Dean of the Duquesne University School of Law. You served for 11 years as an outstanding judge of the Superior Court, bringing wisdom and scholarship to each of the rulings that you rendered during that period. During and after the time of your active service as judge, you became a leading advocate for the implementation of judicial policies to ensure that doors would be open to those previously barred by racial, gender, and ethnic discrimination. Your advocacy and mentorship for women within the profession of the law earned justifiable praise from the legal community. Your efforts to reform the rules of appellate procedure have been critical in streamlining the effect to achieve justice in every case considered. Your service to the church was given in your dedicated efforts as the Associate General Secretary and Director of the Office of Church Relations for the Catholic Diocese of Pittsburgh, and your ongoing efforts to advance the cause of Catholic education throughout this area. But it is what underlies your service and dedication in all these areas that is most noteworthy and deserving of true praise. At the heart of your life of service and dedication, is your ongoing commitment to the noble ideal that the dignity of every person must be recognized, that every person must have the opportunity to work within the legal system to right wrongs, heal the wounds of others, and advance the cause of justice, and that each person must be encouraged to pursue a journey of faith that gives human life its ultimate meaning. For these reasons, we are honored to present Maureen Lally-Green, the Doctor of Law, honoris causa, this 24th day of April, 2019.
Well, this is a day of celebration, isn't it? First of all, from my point of view, I thank this community of St. Vincent for the singular joy of being followed by my brother, for the great privilege of this honor, and for this wonderful occasion of being with you, the honor that the students were awarded today. Congratulations to the presidential awardees and to all of you for your great achievement. I want to share, first of all, a tremendous, tremendous thank you to the Archabbot, Douglas Nowicki. With his incredible leadership, vision, dedication, St. Vincent has been enabled to be the marvelous place that you've just spent 4 years in. Another special thanks to the chairman of the board of St. Vincent College, Mr. Christopher Donahue. He is the longest serving chairman of the board I have ever met. I think he is destined for life service as chairman of the board, and you are so well served to have him there. He is a terrific leader in our community in Pittsburgh, and even more so a leader in our Catholic community. Thank you, Chris. And a most special thank you to Brother Norman. He's your president, and he's been the president for the past 9 years, and he has done a splendid, splendid job. And we are all so grateful for the work he's done, for the vision he's brought to this campus. Thank you, Brother Norman. And certainly to the other priests and brothers with whom I've had the great privilege of working, you've had the great privilege of working, and to the faculty, the administration, the staff who made this event happen, but who made your lives these past 4 years happen. You couldn't have done it without them, and they are so privileged to have served you. So, before I move on, I want to particularly welcome and introduce those of my family who could be here. As Brother Norman said, there are 8 of us. Not all 8 could make it here today, but first of all, I'll introduce to you my husband, Ross Green, who has, this year we celebrate our 40th anniversary, wedding anniversary, and he's, of course, been the most important person in my life. So thanks, Ross, for being here. We have 3 children, none of whom could be here because they're all working, but they send their best along with their spouses. My brother Pat is here with his wife Valerie, my brother John with his wife Kira, my sister Maggie with her husband John, and my brother Bob, my cousin Sean. So we have a healthy contingent of lallies, and that's part of what the theme of today is about. And then there are some wonderful friends that are also here today sharing this great day, and I thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here today. As Brother Norman said, the Lally family has been connected here for almost 90 years, and I won't go through the history he so eloquently stated, but I will add one fact that I think is pretty critical, and that is that my mom and my dad, our mom and our dad, were married right here in St. Vincent Basilica in 1948. And that began an amazing journey for them and, of course, for us. And like Dad and Mom, all 8 of us, our spouses, our children, have been touched by what I call the magic of St. Vincent College and the grace of the Benedictines. So, what is that magic? Well, I think first and foremost, it's a faith-filled way of living life. For the Benedictines, community life, but for all of us, a faith-filled way of living life. The spires of this basilica are visible for miles and miles, and they serve as beacons for those needing spiritual nourishment. And we've all here received that nourishment by coming into this building, whether for private prayer or for celebration. The magic of St. Vincent is certainly here in its academic institutions, these buildings, some as old as when my father came here, and many more new and quite adapted to the modern age. Academic excellence is demonstrated each day by each of you, the students, whose accomplishments we are so pleased to be commending today. And finally, the magic of St. Vincent is reflected in its extended family and friends, not just locally, but globally. Generations of loyal families, generations of friends, wonderful, extraordinary community around the world support St. Vincent and its outreaches. So today, before we move on, let's take a moment, like Chris Donahue said, to be grateful, to share in the gratitude and joy for those who've been our companions on our paths of life. First, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your extended families, your friends, your St. Vincent professors, your advisors, your coaches, the Benedictine priests and brothers, the seminarians who have been here for you for all of these 4 years. Let us just take a moment to give all of them a round of applause for their great contributions to you. Now, Brother Norman tells me that in a few short weeks, this is the last week of classes, then you have finals, and all of a sudden you're graduating. A bit of excitement and a bit of sadness. The sadness because you're leaving behind 4 years of just great fun, great exhilarating learning, and great friends. But then, excitement, because you're moving on into the next path of life. And I'm sure each one of you, in one moment of quiet time, has asked the question, how am I really going to do it? What really is next? How do I manage it? And so I share with you, first of all, a story that's kind of famous in our family also, but kind of gives guidance on how to do it, how to be prepared for the next part of life. Because you're going to be called on to do something that not everybody will be called on to do, and that is to lead. So here's the story. And pardon to my siblings who have heard it, but it involved one of my brothers, who shall go unnamed, who was playing high school basketball, and he had some talent, but he also had a bit of a block to using his talent. And he came home one evening from a basketball game that they had lost, and he was betwixt and between, to say the least. He threw his gym bag on the floor, came in, slouched on the couch, and grumbled. And my father was sitting there in his favorite seat, and he looked at him, and he said, "What's the matter?" And he continued, the brother, to grumble. And Dad paused, and then he said, "You know, you have to shoot the ball to make points. You have to be prepared, sure, but you gotta shoot the ball. You don't just dribble the ball and hand off the ball. You gotta shoot the ball. You gotta be involved, you gotta take the risk." And I've kept that moment in time in my life to illustrate what I want to talk about today. I have found highly successful people whom we all admire are those that shoot the ball and follow through. Now this phrase is probably pretty familiar to basketball players, right? Shoot the ball. Maybe not so much to some of us who didn't play basketball or football or any of the sports, but you get the picture. And I will tell you this, in my life, the highly successful, competent, admirable people that I have known do these three things. They do their best. They're prepared to do their best, but they do their best. Sometimes the best is not the best, but they're doing their best. They're good people. They have integrity. They're honest. They're trustworthy. They show gratitude. And they are, again, coining an earlier comment, they are joyful. And third, they do lead. So, I suspect most of you, if not every single one of you, will be called someday to lead. And it will be a call to get involved, to lead projects at work or organizations, to get the job done. I suspect you'll all be called to lead in a way that you are honest and kind and focused with integrity, to achieve a result in the workplace, but to achieve a result in your community, maybe on the global platform. And I suspect many of you, if not all of you, will be called in a way that your involvement makes the difference in someone else's life by bringing peace to conflict, by making the impossible possible. So I share with you these wishes, that your meaning and your purpose in your life means that your faith tradition guides you, that you have the gift of sharing your life with friends and family, locally and globally, and that you are blessed with the ability and the moral strength to serve in your workplaces, in your community, in the global arena, so that you make that impossible possible, and you bring peace to the conflict others are experiencing. And this is what can happen when we, all of us together, shoot the ball. So, thank you very much. Good luck with your careers, and may God bless you all.
Thanks so much, Maureen. We want to also hear from John Lally. John is a member of the class of 1977, a class that included a group that has hung together and continued their lifelong relationship begun here. They've given me several pieces of information that I might share with you. I will skip them all, except one. In their mind, in their friend, their claim was that John was not the greatest student. To the astonishment of his parents and siblings, he managed to graduate on time. As an accounting major, he struggled in the class on taxes, but moved forward and discovered that somehow he's managed to start from scratch and continues to oversee the most successful CPA firm, Lally & Company, boasting of a staff of 40 people, roughly 30 of them holding the CPA. My experience with John is that he has been an incredibly faithful alum, extraordinarily supportive of the Benediction Sisters of Pittsburgh, willing without hesitance to join our college board of directors and chair an important committee of the board, and a delightful guy to sit next to during a Bearcat basketball game. It pleases me that he continues the mission of service of the Lally family and will now address the assembly. John.
Thank you, Brother Norman. I'm in a bit of a crisis right now. Having followed our chairman, and then my sister Maureen and Brother Norman, it has taken my 45 minutes down to about 15. So I'm going to cut through a lot of what might have been duplicative. It is quite an honor to speak here today at St. Vincent, where I graduated some 42 years ago, and to address an honors convocation. I graduated with high honors, so you can add that to my accounting degree. I would like to first thank Father Abbot Douglas Nowicki for this invitation, the St. Vincent faculty, the students, the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, did a heck of a job. Our honored guests, our awardee contenders, some of which might not be here, and then our awardee winners, congratulations. And I'd like to especially congratulate my sister Maureen. She has had a pretty remarkable career and has been a great sister to all of us. The theme of my talk today is how the Benedictine experience affected me and will affect you. It's not my intention to dominate my time up here talking just about me, but maybe a couple of stories will help you understand where I came from in the early 70s and where I am today, and the influence of those very short 4 years here have been incredible to my life. I came in August of 73, and I left in 4 years. I know that doesn't always happen anymore, but I left in May of 77 with a B.A. in accounting. And when I look back, it's really 4 short years, but it was 4 short years of learning, having your boundaries pushed, 4 years of growing up, 4 years of great people that you ran into here. And you can see the continuing theme of what Chris said and what Maureen said, that there's something about this place that not so much changed my life, but ignited my life, let's put it that way. So, we talked about Mom and Dad. There's 8 of us. I'm skipping over a lot of stuff. 72 years ago, right here in this altar, they moved to Sharon, had 8 children, 5 went into medicine, 1 into law, and my brother Bob and I went into accounting. After I left here, I went to George Washington, down in DC, got an M.B.A, came up to Pittsburgh, working with the Pittsburgh office of an international CPA firm, and then in November of 1983, I had this crazy idea. Actually, I had it in 82, but I left in 83. Any students around in 1983? I didn't think so. I'm not that old. In 1982, I met this gal at work. Her name is Kira, and this summer we'll be celebrating, oh boy, 35 years. And we've been blessed with 4 children. But to understand how the Benedictine experience affected me, I first need to frame those 4 years. Just hearing what the 8 of us have gone into, you could probably guess I wasn't a star student coming out of high school. I did apply. My parents did make a big contribution to get me in. I did get accepted. And my mother sent that $100 check in land speed record, because she thought if it didn't get in there in a week, they'd pull the offer. I can remember my first couple of hours here on campus. I really can. I was sitting on the steps of Kennedy Hall, now Carey Center. And my 2 brothers dropped me off. My brother Frank and my brother Pat, who's here today. I caught them looking at their watch saying, if we leave now, we can probably get back to Sharon and get beers and pizza at the local bar before it closes. And that's what they did. They said, we'll see you later, John, we're out of here. And so I'm sitting on the steps of Kennedy, and I'm saying to myself, what have I gotten myself into? Average student in high school. I knew one fella who was an upperclassman. I met another fella Hank Brown. His uncle was Father Frank Brown. Father Frank Brown was good friends of my dad when he came here. I knew two people, and they didn't want to babysit a freshman. So I was sitting there saying, what have I gotten myself into? And I was thinking that my older brother had said something, one of my older brothers had said something to me in only a way an older brother can say things to a younger brother. And he said, well, John, college is put up or shut up time. He's great, isn't he? Just great how sympathetic they are. And I thought, next 4 years, my brothers and sisters have done well. The older ones have done well wherever they were studying. The younger ones were already starting to pass me up, but everyone's doing fine. Everyone excels in the sporting arena. And whether it's the Holy Spirit, but it came to me, why not me? Why not me? Why can't I turn the leaf over and try something and actually commit? And that's what I did. Freshman year, it was lonely. I probably looked lonely sitting on the steps, but it finally came to me, commit yourself, do something, as Woody Hayes would say. So I decided to go for it. Immediately I met classmates. Now I've had classmates from high school, and since then I've met all kinds of friends, but my classmates from the 4 years here, believe me when I tell you, they're gonna be your best friends for the rest of your life. You have an unbelievable bond with your classmates that you could not see them for 10 years and it's like you just saw them the day before. So a lot of what I got out of St. Vincent was the ability to grow away from home and just meet top quality, top notch, it was all men back then, guys. It was terrific. We didn't have beanies in the early 70s. In the 60s, they made the freshmen wear beanies. But we had our traditions and we had quirks. Everybody had a nickname. Nearly everybody participated in intramural sports, oftentimes with the same guys, on the same team, with the same team name, but in different sports. It was almost like a mini fraternity that we had. And in our class, we probably had 6 little mini fraternity groups of guys, whether it's the Lampshades or the Chili Brigade. They just had nicknames, but they carried those all 4 years. I didn't know this, but at the age of 18, I was starting to become part of a community. You leave home, which is a tight-knit community you have there, and you come to this place and you say, what the heck am I doing here? But then it started to work. Started to filter. And it's kind of crazy. On a 200-acre campus here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania is where it worked for me. I lived on campus for all 4 years. I knew virtually everybody in my class and probably everybody in the school. Today, as a group, the class of 77 comes back for homecoming. We go on trips together. We ride bikes together. We stay in touch with each other. We go to athletic events here in the Carey Center. We go to speaking engagements that St. Vincent sponsors in Pittsburgh. We get to know classes 10 and 15 years before we came here, and we get to know students that are here now. It's great. It makes our community even bigger. It validates the fact that this was the right place for me. After all these years and all the friends we made, it's almost like an extension of my already large family. So what has the Benedictine experience done for me? It's afforded me friendship and fellowship. But maybe the greater question is this: how in the heck did the Benedictine experience ever influence me? And that's where the adults in the room come in. Adults meaning those who lived and worked in this Benedictine community while I was a student. My time and experiences here at St. Vincent weren't just limited to friends and drinking beer. It also included many adults that I met on campus that then became centers of influence to me, some of which I didn't realize until down the road. August 1973, 4th floor Aurelius, 2 guys to a room. 2 doors down was Father Charlie McFadden, our floor rector. I think my mom asked for my room to be 2 doors down from him. He was a kind gentleman. He was a great guy, obviously a priest, very calming demeanor, but had a way of just connecting with you and getting you over whatever anxieties you had your freshman year. Father Earl Henry, the prior today of St. Vincent. He was the Dean of Men. Great guy, tough but fair. Father Simon taught us Spanish. That was only part of it. He had such a loving spirit for God's great creation, and he just conveyed it upon us in every classroom. You couldn't walk out of that classroom without a smile on your face. The teacher who still teaches here today, couldn't make it today, was, I was going to say Father Tom. It's not Father Tom, although Father Tom was a great man. But Tom Hollowady taught in the accounting department. Second semester, freshman year, 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Analysis of financial statements. It was just, it connected with me. It put excitement, if you can believe me, into accounting. It really works for me. Mr. Manoli, Chuck Manoli, taught here for 43 years. I never took him. I was afraid to take him. And that's shame on me. But a lot of my friends took him. They spoke raves about the guy, how he brought excitement into the history class. About 20 years ago, I was serving on a committee here, and I got to finally meet Chuck Manoli, the Chuck Manoli. And we became friends. I met his wife, Anita, who's here tonight in the front with a classmate of mine, Bill McCabe, who had Mr. Manoli in class. Thank you, Anita, for coming. Truly wonderful people, smart intellects, open, just terrific people. In my senior year, I ran the college's intramural program and worked directly and daily with Dodo Canterna, athletic director. Dodo wasn't only an incredible athlete all the way up his career and then at Pitt. It's all documented in the newspapers, folks. But he was a coaching legend in baseball and basketball. He was a family man. He was a community man. I got to work with him every day of my senior year. And being a coach, he could connect to a 21-year-old. Didn't have to. He had 7 children of his own, but we connected. And I had 5 times more fun working for him than it ever took to run intramurals. Just a great, great man. So back in the 70s, whether I knew it or not, these adults, one after another, were influencing us, and they almost seemed like larger than life individuals, because for the first time in my life, I'm having a relationship with an adult, just not with someone my own age. And you feel like you're living in the land of the giants because of all these people that influence you and care for you and talk to you and then become friends with you and stay friends with you over the years. There's no doubt today our students are in the presence of newer, younger giants. We're going to talk about staying close to your teachers and your Benedictines in a second. And why is it that I think giants are here? And what would attract giants to come to St. Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania? Well, the truth is they probably aren't giants when they come here. But the longer they're here, and the longer they're in this Benedictine community, it influences you. I'm not going to say it changes you, but it can change you, but it influences you. Regular, run-of-the-mill, normal boys and girls out of high school come to this school, and in 4 years, they're different in a big way, in a positive way. It's that Benedictine influence. It's something that's hard to smell, taste, touch, or see, but it's in these 4 walls. And once they are here, they allow that Benedictine community to envelop them, and they start to grow spiritually and intellectually. Same happens to adults. They see it, they experience it, and it impacts them. Students see these giants as role models, And so then the Benedictine way of living with others in community starts to permeate them. Now, we might not get to play in many national championships here at St. Vincent, but over the years, and it'll still ring true today, this place is loaded with Hall of Fame candidates. It really is. My story isn't unique. It's a story that's been repeated over and over, and it will with you if you let the Benedictine experience into your lives. Speaking to the students now, you've made friends here. Cherish those friendships. Nurture them. Go out of your way to keep them fresh. There's nothing like a 40-year friendship. Stay in touch with your faculty, as Maureen mentioned. But do me a little favor. Take a moment, go up to the bookstore, or go on the internet, get some really nice stationery. And in the next 2 weeks, write a note to those teachers that influenced you, or those administrative people that influenced you, that pushed your boundaries. You'll make their day, you'll make your day. And while you're at it, write one to your coach, write one to your tutor, write one to the students that you tutored, which is probably the case here, and write one to your parents. It'll give you a great feeling, and it'll make them smile forever. As for the Benedictine community, I'd ask you to do the same. Too often we ask them for something. Can you say a mass for me? Can you do my wedding for me? Can you do a baptism for me? They have the same needs and wants as community and friendship that we have. So share with them your talents, your time, volunteer with them. Be a regular contributor to St. Vincent. This isn't a paid political announcement, but St. Vincent was created 170 years ago, but with Boniface Wimmer at the lead, but with the help of the community. And it was here in the 70s, in the 30s for my dad, in the 70s for me, because of people that came before me. So be a contributor, help keep this place going. So out of the past into the present. Congratulations to our seniors. You've no doubt learned a lot. You've had your boundaries challenged, tested, expanded, and you've done well. Enjoy the euphoria. Suck it all in. Be thankful. And then get ready. The next 60 years are going to be the ride of your life. It'll be unbelievable. So about the future. What is it you want to do? Where do you want to go? What mountain do you want to climb? Academically, family life, spiritual life, work life? In all honesty, at your age, we had not a clue what we wanted to do. But you got to start thinking about it now. You can't let your life just move on autopilot. You got to start thinking about, what am I going to work for? What am I going to work towards? You've put too much time into getting where you are now that you got to embrace this and move it forward. So I have 3 suggestions as I wrap up. With this Benedictine experience as your foundation, I want you to define the word success. You decide what you want to do. Seek out others. Ask them what they think, but this is your decision, this is your life, you've earned it, and you have the responsibility to determine what you want to do. If you want to work on an Indian reservation, think it through, and then go for it. If you want to go work on Wall Street or go to med school, think it through, balance everything, go for it. If you don't have a definition at this time, in other words, you just aren't quite sure what you want to go for, that's okay. Not knowing is completely different than not thinking about it. And then, once you have an inkling of what you want to do, watch out. You'll be thinking about it constantly. You'll be taking notes on it. You'll be planning out. You'll be identifying milestones to get to where you want to be. It's one of the most exciting things you'll ever experience in this world is when you have an idea of where you want to go. So suggestion 1 is success. No autopilot, proactive thinking. Suggestion number 2. This deals with the concept of work and continuous effort that life demands. Embrace the fact that learning is a lifelong adventure. You will need to work hard, and work smart for probably the rest of your life. You have 40 years of a work-life experience, 40 years of a work-life expectancy, and probably 60 to 65 years of a life expectancy. It's a long time. There's a lot of things that can be done, but please don't stop learning. Find something you like to do. A lot of people say, find your passion. I'm not going to go that route. Just find something you like to do, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in your church, whether it's coaching t-ball. That adds excitement to your life. That eliminates opportunities for boredom to creep in. Identify something. You could probably do that quickly as opposed to identifying what your master plan is. But always have an interest, something that is a distraction once you get out of work or allows you to do better at work. So right now, you're a generalist, and that's great. 16 years, you are where you are. In 4 years, you've moved at the speed of light to get to where you are. I view that as being an inch deep and a mile wide. You know a lot, you know a little about a lot. And I think over your careers, you're gonna wanna flip that 90 degrees. So you're an inch wide and a mile deep, so that you're the expert that people seek out, that want to talk to you about something that maybe you studied in med school and then went on and got a PhD, or you went into the accounting business and specialized in somewhere. Being an inch wide and a mile deep is the most rewarding place to have, is the most rewarding place for you to have job satisfaction. You will probably be employed for the rest of your life. And it won't matter if you have the biggest house on the block, if you have the best job, or if you have the nicest car. It just doesn't matter, because you're in a space that you know inside and out. Inch wide, mile deep. The road to get there is long and windy and sometimes uphill and you don't see the top, but continue to pedal. It's the only place to be. So you need a plan. You need to do something interesting that exercises the mind and the body. You need to commit effort, and then anything is possible. My third suggestion: lend a hand. You know, a hand is a wonderful appendage, not quite as strong as a leg. You can't think like a brain and can't pump blood like a heart, but it can lift spirits and it can gain you access to places if you only use it properly. A hand allows you to reach up for help. It allows you to reach down and help someone else. It allows you to greet somebody or pat someone on the back. And when I say lend a hand, I mean for you to extend yourself outside of your comfort zone to help others. This is the Benedictine way. Your hand will open doors. It will keep friends. It will make new friends. And it will allow you to lift the spirits of others. That's powerful. A hand is that powerful. Extend them regularly. And so I ask the students, will your Benedictine experience affect you like it's affected so many before you? Will it move you to accomplish things in your future that you may have never, ever dreamt before? Have you come this far in your development to just come this far? You've been provided an incredible education. You have a strong foundation to go out into this world and make it a better place for you and others. Keep your foundation strong. Invest time and energy into it. Soul searching for what you'd like to do with the rest of your life. How can I live a long, productive, fulfilling life? Good enough just isn't good enough, folks. Embrace effort, work hard, no autopilot. Be the best possible you. And extend your hands. Your feet might take you places and your brain will serve the quadratic equation, but your hand is going to open doors and get you places. So how will the Benedictine experience affect you? Did you come this far just to come this far? I don't think so, folks. There's a lot to be done out there, and this place is a springboard to your future. So I'm going to end with some words that every student here has read, has seen, but maybe some of our guests aren't quite familiar with. Boniface Wimmer started this community 170 years ago. And it's written in several places here, at least the first half of this quote, forward, always forward. But it's the second half of this quote that I think is as powerful. And it was mentioned 170 years ago, and it's still relevant today. It reads, forward, always forward, everywhere forward. We must not be held back by debts, by bad years, or by difficulty of times. Man's adversity is God's opportunity. Stay close to your Benedictine experience. It can be the rocket fuel as you shoot for the stars, folks. Again, congratulations to the students, the award contenders, the award winners. Congratulations to my sister Maureen. Mom and Dad are smiling. And a big thank you to the administration and faculty of St. Vincent College. It has been a true honor to speak to you today. Thank you for this opportunity, and may God bless.
Saint Vincent, Saint Vincent, our mother and our guide, to honor and to love thee shall ever be our pride. Thy guiding hand hath shaped our course on life's unruly sea, until the end with grateful hearts we shall be true to thee.
Let us pray. Loving God, we pray for all those who have made it possible for us to celebrate this happy moment, especially parents, grandparents, families and friends, staff, faculty, administrators, and alumni. May the joy of this day remain with us and help us always to appreciate the knowledge of your truth. Nurture the deep hopes which are in our hearts this day, and comfort us in any sorrows that we may carry with us. In particular, we pray for those who are persecuted and martyred for practicing their faith. May we use faith and reason to bring about the peace and harmony that only you can give. Continue to enlighten with your wisdom all who teach and all who learn. May we be ever filled with your mercy and compassion, your light and your life. May we always use our talents, our achievements, our knowledge of truth for others. Support these soon-to-be graduates as they continue to make a difference in the world. May they follow the spirit of our founder, Father Boniface Wimmer, who wrote, "Forward, always forward, everywhere forward. We must not be held back by debts, bad years, or by difficulties at the times. Man's adversity is God's opportunity." We ask this in Jesus' name, amen.